To order, this is the special board meeting. Actually, it's not special. It's a regular board meeting of the Board of Trustees, Boerne ISD, on December the 11th, 2023. It is 5 o'clock. We'll establish our quorum. We have Maritza Gonzalez-Cooper, Garrett Wilson, Superintendent Dr. Thomas Price, myself, Carlin Fryer, Rich Senna, Christy Schmidt, and Joe Tidwell. Jessica Davila is on the way, and she'll be here shortly. We have no visitor comments or testimonials tonight, so I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda if there's no changes. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, motion carries. At this point in time, we're going to go into closed session. Have two items. Item A is pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074, deliberation regarding matters related to employment, appointments, resignations, terminations, retirements, and reassignments. And item B is pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.076, considering the deployment or specific occasions for implementation of security, personnel, or devices, or a security audit. So at 5:02, we will go into closed session. All right, it is 5:17. We're going to come out of closed session back into open session. We do have a full quorum now. Jessica Davila did join us. Next item on the agenda would be consider action, if any, regarding items discussed in closed session, and there's nothing that isn't contained within the consent agenda. So with that, are there any items on the consent agenda anyone wants to pull or discuss? If not, I
move we approve the consent agenda.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, consent agenda is approved. Next item is reports, and we have first from the administration.
Let me turn this on. All right. Every year we've come out and we've given you an update on the surprise door audits that are implemented by TEA. This is just an update of what we're doing. So far, 5 of our 12 campuses have had those surprise door checks, and what we'll do is at the end of the year we'll come back and give you another update as we go. One of the things we are learning along the way is that we want to make sure that we know for sure, not just have you checked this, have you checked the door, and just by word of mouth. What we're going to do, what we have now is a checklist for all of our secondaries. We're going through and making sure that we train all of our campuses of the importance of locking all the exterior doors and also the interior doors. And we have a system in place so that we can, at the end of the day, turn it into the principal and we can verify that all the doors were checked multiple times. So just as the door intruder audits were in place last year and we were all learning about them, we made some adjustments at the end of the year. We're making more adjustments, and we'll continue to do training, especially with our secondary campuses, because simply they have more mobility, more open and shutting of the doors. And we're working on this checklist with our secondary. If it's effective, it's something that will spread to our elementary campuses also. And I'll take any questions.
No questions? All right, thank you, Dr. Price, for that. Next item is then going to be actions from the administration. We have consider approval of the 2024-2025 calendar.
All right. Good evening, President Fryer, Board of Trustees. We bring for your consideration tonight a recommendation for the BISD 2024-2025 academic calendar. This process is facilitated by the District Education and Improvement Committee. You remember that's a committee of over 60 members that's comprised of teachers, staff, community members, parents. It's predominantly teachers and staff. And so what we did is in September, we met with the DEIC. We gave them an overview of the legal requirements for the instructional calendar. It's got to have 75,600 operational minutes, has to have 187 calendar days for teachers in order to be legally compliant. We also reviewed the last 2 BISD calendars with the DEIC and got kind of their pros and cons, things they liked and didn't like from each calendar. Then we took volunteers from the DEIC for a calendar subcommittee. And so we then had about 12 volunteers meet over the course of 3 different meetings and draft 3 different calendar drafts that met all of our requirements. Some of the things we had in common with all of our calendars were starting the second full week of August for students, having a fall break, having a full week off for Thanksgiving, having students out by Memorial Day, having Easter off. They produced 3 draft calendars. We then brought those 3 draft calendars back to the DEIC, got feedback from the committee as a whole. They narrowed that down to 2 calendars to take forward to the community for a community vote. Those went out the Thursday before Thanksgiving for vote. They stayed out for vote through Thanksgiving week and the week after Thanksgiving. The result of that vote, there was a 58% positive community vote for calendar A and a 42% positive vote for calendar B. You can see included in your board packet, you have copies of both calendar A and calendar B, a brief comparison of both of the calendars. Both of the calendars include overage minutes for bad weather days, so we can take those, or if we have to, for some reason, decide to go to state in football and let people off early, those sorts of things. So with that, we are recommending to the board calendar A per the community vote. And I'll now take any questions you have.
I have just one question. What, if anything, stuck out through the committee about, was there anything particular about last year's calendar that a lot of people were like, oh, could we switch this up? Just to know from the committee process if there's any big things that floated to the surface.
They did like a couple things, but they tried really hard in all of the calendar drafts this year to not start on a Monday. All of our calendar drafts ended up starting on a Monday. They did kind of like starting midweek, but what we learned is where the day of Christmas falls, once you include the time we give off for Christmas and Thanksgiving, really kind of dictates where the school year starts as far as time of year. And so it was kind of interesting to watch all the subcommittees kind of come to a realization of, oh, we're going to have to start the calendar on Monday this year if we want all the other things in the calendar that we want.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve the 24-25 academic calendar A, choice A.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Thank you, Dr. O'Hare. The last item on the agenda is future business items. So our next meeting is scheduled for January the 22nd. And we have pending items: approval of course catalog, progress monitoring report, professional development waivers related to the school calendar, demographics report, and the quarterly investment report. So with that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We are adjourned.